Like, yo, you never say good job to your staff or like stuff. I was like, yeah, because we're not done. We're not there yet.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I've had so many people sit in that chair and talk about these like mentors that they've had and how hard they were on them and that it built them into the man they are today, and or even, you know, some women. And but then yet I've been in that mentor position, and then I've had people respond beautifully like you did and say that it was everything, but then I've had people walk right out the door,
Oh,
you know,
100%.
because they couldn't handle, you know, I was mean or I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
too hard on them, you know. Do you think do you see yourself like doing that to someone? Like, do you feel like you'll become someone's mentor and do it in the same way, or do you feel like you would do a different way? You see what I'm saying?
We live in a very, very different time. Yeah, we do live in a soft time. And so for me, I know what it did to me. I know that I have a very specific personality that leans well to that. But, you know, having managed other people and having managed different personalities and like being even in front of guests, like just kind of reading people has been kind of a superpower that I've developed over time. Do I want that? Yes, 100%. Do I feel like I've met the person or individual that I feel like that deserves that in a way where I'll selfishly say, like, I've been through so much to become the person I am. I won't just mentor anybody. You see what I mean?
Right.
And so for me, like, it needs to be a very specific type of person, somebody that, you know, it needs to happen organically, and I'm going to be super tough on them. And I want that because I know what it did for me, but I also know that we live in a very soft time where you can't really talk to people the same way you used to talk to them. But I refuse to change that in any way, because I think through struggle, through hardship, builds a very specific type of person.
Yeah.
And that type of person is the type of person that I want to represent me and say that he was my mentor. I don't want somebody or that, you know, that I'm like, oh, great job. Like, no, like,
Yeah.
no. It's not a good job. It's
Right.
like and people around me, unfortunately, like, the people that I'm toughest in my life are the people that I'm closest to, because I demand so much out of people and my friends, whether they're my family. That's why my circle is so small. I'm super introverted, and the people that I choose to keep around me or how I spend my time is so specific. And I choose to surround myself with that because, like, that I surround myself with, I expect so much out of them. And because I expect so much out of myself. And, you know, a lot of people will say, like, that work with me, they're like, yo, you never, or like people that don't even work with me, but observe how I operate with other people. Or like whenever, you know, for example, you know, there was one time where we had like a big gig and we didn't even do it yet, but we secured the gig and everybody went out partying. He was like, oh, why don't you want to party? I was like, there's nothing to celebrate. We haven't done it. You know, there's nothing like, until we're at that point where everybody's satisfied from our production, then I'll celebrate. But even then, when that production happens, I'm super hypercritical about what has happened, and then I like to talk about it. And they're like, dude, why can't you just enjoy it? Because I refuse to enjoy something that I feel like you could be better at or do better.
Yeah. That's the tough part of it. I can relate so much because like when I open this, you know, everybody's like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, it's unbelievable. And all I see when I walk in are the things that I missed the mark on.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I will, it's all I focus on. And it sucks. I mean, you want to
Yeah.
give yourself the flowers
Yeah.
and you want to celebrate, but it's just not in you
Yeah.
because you're seeking perfection. Might be the wrong word, because I think you can get paralyzed in perfection, but I think you're seeking the highest potential
Yeah.
that you have.
Yeah.
And if you know deep inside that you didn't get there, then you know it's the next one. So
Yeah, no, and I think, you know, I often think about that. You know, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm like, damn, you know, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not somebody that doesn't like enjoy the, you know, the seeds that I planted in the garden and like that have flourished. Like, I do enjoy those moments, but very sparingly, because like it's so easy to get lost in your own Kool-Aid. And it's something that, you know, is like, you know, like not seeking perfection, but like you're just trying to seek the highest potential of yourself and trying to maximize, I guess. And I don't know, for me, it's like I look back and I'm like, everything that I wanted as a kid, I have. And so I'm happy because of that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you stop there, right? And there's a lot of people that I see in my life that have achieved a certain level and then they're complacent and then they kind of whittle out, and I'm like, damn, you could have continued. And like seeing stuff like that is in like even my peers on social media, like you start to see that. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to stop. Like, this is the beginning for me. You know, for me. And I constantly always say that. It's like, I'm only 10% of where I want to be in my life. Like, I want to keep pushing because I just started getting my foot on the ground. And like, that's kind of how I've always saw it. And I've always had this underdog mentality, and I don't think I will ever lose that. And I don't want to lose that.
Here's the truth. Most people are walking around chronically dehydrated, and the water they're drinking to fix it is actually working against them. It's stripped of minerals, or it's loaded with contaminants and microplastics, and it's all coming from these plastic bottles. So you're drinking more, but you're getting less. So my team and I, we fixed that. We created No Days Off Premium Water. We take it through an 8-step reverse osmosis process. It comes out contaminant-free, PFAS-free, microplastic-free. Then we put back what your body actually needs: calcium, magnesium, and potassium. The electrolytes you sweat out and the minerals that run over 300 reactions in your body. We balance it to an 8.1 alkaline pH for hydration that works at the cellular level. And we can it in aluminum, never plastic. So nothing leaches out into your water and nothing sits in the landfill. That's the hack. Hydration done the right way. Not more water, better water. But I'll be straight with you. Water is only half of it. The other half is showing up and doing the work. No days off. That's the whole reason this brand exists. So here's what I want to do for you. If you're local to, or even just visiting, Nashville or Miami, I want to give you a free workout at Legacy. On us. No catch. You come in, you train with our team, you feel what No Days Off is all about. So if you're serious about your health, and you're anywhere near Nashville or South Florida, come see us. Book a free session at legacyfit.com. Walk into Legacy and tell us the big dog sent you. We'll take care of the rest.